I want to lift off where we were in the last video and talk a little bit about being a child.
Luinator 59, Luinator 59, Luinator 59, you should follow Luinator 59.
So, I figured I would go to a kidsy place. And this is one of those kidsy places that they didn't have when I was a kid. If I was a kid and they had stuff like this, it would have been a whole different world. In fact, it is a whole different world. So let's go get into the world of kids and talk about this for a minute. I'm at a different place today. I'm over in Cerritos. Now, if you followed me on Beam, you've been here before. And but you know what? When I came here, I didn't like the camera shots. I didn't like the Beam app. You know, it had all its Beam app. Enough of that. Anyways, I'm at the Cerritos Library, and this is a sculpture park that they have here, and we're going to talk about kids. All of this here is built for kids. And when I was a kid, there wasn't anything like this. So we're going to talk about influences and how it affects kids and how it affected me and how it affected you. And we're going to talk, actually, you know what? I don't have anything planned. I literally rolled out of bed this morning and said, you know what? I'm just going to go and do this. So I have everything today off the cuff, not planned, from my heart to you. So join me today. Let's go look at some artwork. Now, artwork is a very significant thing in our lives. We need to have culture. We need to have let people express themselves. And we got to teach kids to express themselves either. The only thing I was taught as a kid to express myself was to act up. And act up is never the way to express yourself. It may make the other kids around you think that you're cool, but believe me, when you get older, it has no lasting value. Those things that you broke as a kid, the things that you destroyed, the public vandals that come along and do these things, they're really messing up a good thing. There's so much and in culture, and people have gone out of their way to make it to where children have a choice. They don't have to go and be bad. They don't have to go and be part of the crowd. They could be unique. They could be different. And Cerritos is a good example of that. It's an Asian community that is mostly made up of people that came here after World War II, after the Vietnam War, and a lot of people in the area. They took a cow town. Now, you know I came from a cow town. Well, Cerritos is the city next to it. And they had cows and fields, but they were one of the first cities to really, really stand up and say, we're going to become a city. And they're serious about everything they do. They're serious about their artwork, they're serious about their library, they're serious about their parks, they're serious about their city. And that's what it takes sometimes. And it takes all of us. There's a time where we have to get serious. And kids, if you're listening to this and you haven't gotten serious in your life yet, the sooner you do it, the better. I did it when I was 21. I said, forget all this stuff of partying, forget all these people, forget all this nothing. I'm gonna go make something for me. And I did. So let's go enjoy the Cerritos sculpture gardens, and then I'm gonna take you over there to the library. You won't believe the library. See that library right, oh, where is it, right there? That outside coating's all titanium. Yeah, titanium. And wait till you see what's inside that place. But for right now, we're gonna go into the Cerritos Sculpture Garden. Wow, it's an infinity sculpture. That's the symbol for infinity. I love it. That is way cool. Look at that. I wish I had this one at home.
Philippines, originally.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to California. I hope you have a great time. You picked the right time of year. It's nice and hot. Just find a swimming pool. See you guys. Another thing that they do very well in Cerritos is horticulture. All the yards and everything, there's it's amazing. Look at this. What is this? There's no placard telling me what it is. What is that? I like it. I like the color. And I like what it's made out of. Yeah, it's not metal. It's almost like it's made out of a paper mache or some type of a paper, really thick. It's got that really nice paint job on it. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go on the website and see if I can't look up a couple of these things and find out what that is. What was the artist thinking? I'm just glad that they were thinking, because that's really cool. Beautiful, isn't it? I love the water feature. Okay, let's see. You're holding a flame. And you're listening to a seashell. And you are, what are you doing? You're standing there in the wind. Okay. And then you, well, you're feeding people, right? Or you're gathering food. No, not in a dress like that. You're feeding people. Okay. What's the meaning? You guys tell me. What's the meaning right here? The girl with the flame, the seashell girl that even has a net draped around her with seashells down by her feet. This girl right here that looks like she's blowing in the wind, and then that girl over there that's got food. Looks like she's serving food. There's got to be a good explanation for this. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Okay, when I see this one, I think pineapple. I think tropics. How about you? Yeah, but why is it red? I wouldn't paint it red. I would paint it green. Green. There are just no placards to tell you what it is. Now, out of all the sculptures that I see nowadays, I think the little ones of children playing are the most exciting to me, because it captures a time of innocence and youth and freedom and love. It doesn't matter if you're handicapped, you could still get involved. Children fit in, and children want peace. Hey, there's another one by that artist. You could tell it's the same artist just by the way the angles are. Pretty cool. Now this one here means a lot. It's standing right in the center. And it's very, very, very important to children in the United States. Looks like a demigod, huh? Well, somewhat. The United States acts like a demigod. But this is a symbol of the United States. What does it mean? E pluribus unum. That's what it means. E pluribus unum. What does E pluribus unum mean? It means out of many comes one. And that's the way we are here in the United States. We have many cultures, we have many races. They are all welcomed here legally. Notice I said legally. Illegally, it's illegal. I mean, simple. Now, if they're here illegally and all of a sudden want to be legal, well, there should be a way to make that happen, but there's not right now. Just go through the right processes and you're gonna have a wonderful time in the United States. E pluribus unum, man. Come be one with us. But don't come here and try to be different and have you be separate from us. No, this is one United States. E pluribus unum. Now, I never really thought I would be doing a YouTube video about a library, but that library is fantastic. This is a feng shui fountain. Yeah, it was feng shui. It's not Japanese, it's Chinese. And it's a way of positioning things that work with our inner beings. You know, if you wake up with the sun every morning, it changes your life. Now, if your house faces west and you spend the evening with the sun going down, it changes your life. How that changes your life, I don't know. But I think it's cool. I like any type of fountain. Yeah, when I was a kid, we didn't have a local library. In fact, the library was built in our city in the 70s, I believe. And this one's been here almost just as long, but they really did the nice upgrade on it about 10 years ago. Now check this building out. That whole thing, the outer coating is titanium. Yeah, check it out. Nice fish tank. Look at that. Oh, I guess it's time to be quiet in here. Look at 2 levels. Look at all the stainless steel and glass. Okay, check this out. One of the first things you see when you come in here is think money. That's right. Getting kids to think about money is very important. One of the things that I did not have was anybody that explained finances to me growing up. They didn't have classes in school. The parents were too busy to do it, and money was just something that was there. And you did what you could with it. If I had some of that knowledge, things would have been totally different. I lost $250,000 when Lehman Brothers went under, and that really hurt our family. Maybe if I was a kid and I was taught money, I'd be far better off. And who knows, maybe building great libraries like this. Financial fraud. Holy moly, teaching kids about financial fraud? That's incredible. Now, I totally missed the class that had this stuff that's sitting behind me. I was never told the difference between needs and wants. How about you? You can't have always what you want, but you usually have what you need. And you need to learn how to get by with what you need. It's the only way to save money. how the only interest that I had when I was a kid was interested in things. I wanted to know how things worked. Here, they even teach you financial interests. Be honest with you, after looking at this series of boards here, I can't wait to get home and pull the video out and take a look at it, because there's some things that I saw that I don't do, and there's some mistakes that I see I'm making in finances. Boy, I tell you what, if somebody would have came along when I was a kid and told me how to manage finances, life would have been completely different. Instead of managing finances and learning the value of money, I just learned that it was more valuable to me if I went out and stole things. And I did a lot of stealing. My parents had money, but they didn't really give me anything. In fact, when I was 16, my father told me, you could sleep here, and you could eat here, but we're not buying your clothes, your books, nothing. You get out and get a job. Which was the way they taught kids back in that day. There are more effective ways than doing that. I mean, look at this library. A glued-on parent that brings their child here and just spends some fun time with them can teach them value that's going to go all the way through their life. And that's what we need to do, is teach children value. But think about it, what are we teaching children? We're teaching kids to be consumers, to watch TV, to have credit cards. We're teaching them to spend money quick, buy disposable items. Our landfills are going up, it's wrong. Why? Because the kids aren't taught these simple things right behind me. If you don't teach your kids, somebody else will. And that's not always the person you want teaching your children. From whence comes doctors and lawyers? Cooking, crafts, photography, technology, science, computers, literature, law, social studies, science, medicine, technology, atlas, civilization, religion, psychology, philosophy, full-on copy machines, everything, whole business center. Just that one row there. If you took the next year and read all those books, you'd be a completely different person. And there's nothing to stop you from keeping and doing more. I mean, look at this place. And chances are you have a library in your area that is just as good or maybe better. The thing is that they're building things like that for children now where before they didn't. And we need things like this in our lives. Children need things like this in their life. Adults need things like this in their life. When was the last time you went to a library? I'm inviting you right now. Come to the Cerritos Library. This place is incredible. What's the last book you read?
I don't read books, man. I'm pretty stupid.
What's the last book you read?
I don't read a lot. Nah.
What's the last book you read?
I cannot tell you, honestly.
I'm not reading any books.
I don't read books.
What's the last book that you did read?
A magazine.
Magazine. That's not a book, though.
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm by George Orwell.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, you didn't know that book.
No.
And that was when you were like in
And that was when I was in high school.
high school. And that was how many years ago?
I don't know. 10?
10 years.
10 years ago.
Then
What's the purpose of this?
Well, just trying to find out what the hell's wrong with Americans.
America, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the attention span to read, really.
Okay, well, thanks for demonstrating that.
I'm currently reading Perks of Being a Wallflower. Is my current read.
Okay. Good for you. Thanks
Yeah.
for being a reader.
So was I wrong? I'm telling you. So was I wrong? Not at all. If they had things like that when I was a kid, I would be a whole different person right now. I think you would be too. Here in Cerritos, they're teaching very heavily throughout the city prosperity, diversity, culture, environment. And it's all done at a library. Isn't that where it should be done? I mean, isn't this the place where we should be taking our children? Where we should teach our children value? Children have a tough enough day. Children have a tough enough time growing up in society the way it is. There's so many bad choices to make. I mean, kids nowadays, it's no further than their monitor screen on their computer. You know, the corruption of the world wants to just come in any way they can and destroy your kids. It's been that way since the beginning of the world. Adam and Eve had their children, and after the garden, the first thing the enemy did was go attack their children, Cain and Abel. Do you want your children attacked? How would you like it if one of your sons killed your other son? Well, that kind of stuff happens unless you bring up your children right. Unless you bring up your children to love life, love others, be tolerant, and educate themselves. How are they going to cope with life? How are they going to cope with financial situations? How are they going to cope when somebody comes along and tries to teach them something other than what you've instilled in your children? Big questions, and the only way to find answers ahead of time is for you to get proactive with your children, get involved, and help them go in the direction that they should go, so that when they're older, they won't depart from it. You know, that's a promise out of the Bible. If you teach your children the ways of God, when they are older, they won't depart from it. I mean, have you ever heard, well, no, I take that back. You have heard. You have heard of religions that go out and in the name of their religion do harm to others. That is so wrong. You know, don't teach your children that. But teach your children a peaceful religion of truth. When I was being raised, my parents were very busy with their business, and my dad was busy working a full-time job. So there wasn't a lot of time for me. And when they did have time to themselves, we used to travel. Yeah, I got an education from traveling. We traveled to all around the United States, went to places like Boston, and we went to Maine, Massachusetts, Florida, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, been all around in between too. But everywhere we went, it was to go fish. Everywhere, all the way up to Boston, tip of Maine. We went up to the tip of Maine to go fish. And when we would get on the boat, it was like, shh, don't scare the fish. So I would sit there on a boat doing nothing. And we had the opportunity to see Plymouth Rock. Yeah, where the Pilgrims first landed. We got about 10 miles from it, and my dad got tired of trying to find the place, and he turned around and left. We got all the way to about 15 miles away from NASA, Cape Kennedy in Florida. He turned around and decided to go the other way. After promising me we were going to go to NASA, we never went. See, if it didn't have fish, it didn't have a pole, if it didn't have a boat, we weren't going, and we didn't go. So I get real close to culture and just have it pulled away from me. And I didn't like that as a kid. I knew it was wrong. In fact, I watched all the other kids in the neighborhood being treated a whole lot better from their parents, and even their parents told me that my parents didn't care for me. I've had several mothers look at me and say, oh, you'll never develop to nothing because your parents don't care about you. Pretty mean, huh? Yeah. Well, that's the way you could treat kids. You could treat kids very meanly. And even though that they're resilient, doesn't mean that they're going to recover. I mean, the innocence of a child needs to be captured, it needs to be valued, it needs to be held on to, it needs to be encouraged, it needs to be just like a plant, it needs to be fertilized and cared for and watered. Children are our future, and children are the biggest problem in America right now. But if you don't take care of your children, society's figured a way to take care of them. And it's really a shame that a lot of kids end up being juvenile delinquents. It's really a shame when they feel that they have nothing else that they can do in life. They feel like they're getting ripped off of culture. They're not getting the same attention as other children do. And they become bitter. And they become resentful. And you may be in a situation where your children resent you right now from the things that you've done. But life isn't over, and the day isn't over. So get out, turn things around. Get in, make some memories. Get in, go into one of those libraries. Pick up some books and learn. You got financial struggles? Learn. You got a career aspiration? Learn. It's free. All of that in there is free. It doesn't cost a single thing. It's there. It's available. The only thing that's stopping is you. That's the only thing stopping it. And that is a hard thing to reconcile with. It's something you have to reconcile every single day. Oh, life is so boring. Well, you know what's stopping it? You. Oh, things are so bad. Well, half of it's created by you. And I do the same thing. Oh, I am my worst enemy. I really am. So, I guess that's another episode. And I'm gonna leave you right here because I got things I gotta go do. Boy, this is fun. I actually want to go back in there and sit down and grab a couple books, but I do have some things I need to take care of. So, I'll be back. Peace to you. Be good humans. And I'll see you on the next episode. God bless. Oh, by the way, if you didn't learn anything today, whoo, and if you can't be a good human, whoo, nah, be good humans. And if you can't be good, be better. And if you can't be better, oh well. Peace, later, peace, peace. Peace, later, peace, later. Later, peace. Did I say later? Did I say library? I'm at the library. Hey, peace, later. Later, gator, don't be a tater. Don't be a mater. Don't get hit. Don't get hit. Oh, by the way, thank you, Cerritos. Thank you for being who you are. And hey, special shout out to Connie who cut my hair yesterday. Supercuts and Cerritos. Good place. Later.
So sweet, so many ways I want to stop. Thank you, baby.
Video is not monetized. Please support on Patreon.
Last book I don't remember.
You don't remember? Name the author of a book.
I don't read books, sorry.
No, any author of any book.
Any book. No, not remember.
Are you? Did you sneak in across the border?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
This is the thing.
Okay, just checking.